Violence continues to escalate in Afghanistan after U.S. soldiers accidentally burned Korans. Now, Barack Obama has come out and apologized for this. He did say that it was a mistake. They did not burn the Korans on purpose. And of course, he's receiving a considerable amount of criticism for that. And the violence has not decreased ever since he apologized for the Koran burnings. So, Jayar, what are some of the things that the Republicans are saying about Obama's apology?
Well, it goes to the same thing every time a Republican will criticize a Democrat on anything that's foreign policy or that's having to do with a conflict. They're weak, you're backing up, you're giving up to the enemy, you're letting them think that we're just going to give anything we want. But what about the apology they owe us for the killings that are happening, things that are happening over the Quran? This is the question I'm not sure is being asked. I'm trying to figure out, these Qurans were burned in an accident with a pile of garbage, things they were thrown away, right?
Right.
How closely is that watched? So if you're just burning garbage, who found out what was being burned and was out there enough to say, oh, by the way, we burned these Qurans? If you accidentally burn some Qurans, who's leaking that information saying, oh, we found out there's some Qurans being burned? There's not like there's news coverage saying, I see these soldiers burning garbage. Let's sift through this garbage and see what may be in it. Nobody does that, unless maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm missing something here. But the fact that this whole story started, somewhere, someone knew this had happened. If it's accidental, if you accidentally throw away your credit card, you just don't know where it went, you know? Mm-hmm. How does this happen this way? Just from the beginning of this whole thing. It's something weird from the beginning.
So are you saying that you don't think that the burning was an accident?
Not that it wasn't an accident. It's just that once it happened, I think it was an accident. Mm-hmm. Once it happened, shut up. I mean, it's obvious that this type of thing could happen from that, or this kind of reaction could happen. Shut up. You accidentally burned some Qurans, and if you didn't mean to, chill out.
No, here's what happened. Some guys accidentally burned the Quran, and other guys saw it, they laughed about it, they talked about it. And then, word got around. Someone heard it on the base. More word got around. Some Afghan workers or helpers, whatever, they heard it, they told people, and then it was like, oh shit, now everyone knows. But here's the thing that's not being talked about enough. It's not about the Quran. It's about the fact that we've been in this country for 10 years.
And we have accomplished absolutely nothing.
Well, not only that, we've accidentally, killed a bunch of kids, wedding parties. I don't know if it's every week, but almost every single month, we hear stories about how we accidentally killed more innocent civilians. Mm-hmm. And what do? We say, I'm sorry. And then now we burn the Quran and we say, I'm sorry. And the Quran is really a proxy, or rather the burning of the Quran is really a proxy for the Afghani population to say, you know what, enough's enough. This is bullshit, like why are you even here? And we've heard many polls that say that they don't even understand why we're there. They've never even heard of 9/11. Yeah. So as far as they can tell, there's this foreign army in their country taking over. They're not quite sure why we're there, what we're trying to accomplish. And we have these strikes where we kill innocent children. Let me tell you, I don't care what army it is, but if there's an army in the US and they launch a missile strike and it kills one of my loved ones, that's it. That army, I swear, to the day that I die, I'm gonna do everything I can to fuck them up.
Right.
Okay?
And no apology will quote
Yeah, so sorry. Right. Yeah, thank you for your apology.
Right. Now, let's go back to the Republicans criticizing Obama and apologizing to this, because I think that's also a really interesting aspect of the story. First of all, when it comes to the Quran burnings, I completely agree with you. This is definitely a way of them basically unleashing all of this, suppressed anger. And I definitely would have a similar reaction to it. I don't think that it's the Quran burnings. It's definitely every horrible thing that has accumulated throughout the years since we've invaded Afghanistan. Now, the question is, the Republicans continue to criticize Obama with the way that he has handled the situation. They're saying, oh, he's giving in, he's weak on national security. But is Afghanistan even a national security threat to us at this point? And haven't we already achieved what we needed to achieve? We caught Osama bin Laden. He's now dead. Why are we in Afghanistan? Not only do the Afghans have no idea as to why we're in their country, Americans have no idea as to why we're in their country.
Well, the rest of it goes out to then, Robert Gibbs was saying afterwards, he goes, as you guys know, Osama bin Laden is dead. He goes, but they need to get to the point where we can hand off security to Afghanistan and the Afghans so we can bring our troops home. It's always that same part of it, where the next step is to hand it off evenly. That's one of those things that's so arbitrary. We don't know exactly when that happens. These guys that are there have to tell us how do we know what's really going on? How do we know how long it's going to take or what actually needs to be completed for this to happen? And with all these distractions and all this violence, that of course sets it back.